on the weekly chart and zoom out, this was a $23 stock. It got beaten down. There was massive accumulation here. And if you recall, we gave it out at $1.60. Never once did it go red. And from that point has continued to beat. We saw last quarter was an all-time high revenue. They are cash flow positive. We'll get into the fundamentals in a moment. But when you look at the chart, it's textbook support and resistance. It breaks out, uses the old ceiling as a floor, and now has been chopping at this level, showing strong buying demand. I'm ready again for a big earnings beat and a continuation to those highs that we saw in November of 2024. Now, the first level here would probably be 625. That's the high of January. So I'm going to set an alert right there at or above 625. So if that pings, I will get that tomorrow, and then we can know that the continuation or this W-like recovery is very likely. Okay, now the big level, of course, is going to be $8. That's the top there. So we could also set another alert just as a visual reference or a guidance. And when we zoom out, we could see that that previous floor there is now acting as that same support from where it was over 3 years ago. So it's very, very important. Again, we break on the north side of that $8 range. I would say 825, 830. I think we have a very good chance of seeing $10.50. We get there somewhere in that $11 range is also possible. But I want to be conservative here. I do think it has at least $1.50 to 2 points in it. If it's a big earnings, which I'm anticipating it's going to be, who knows? Maybe it really starts to get some legs. And that's the cool part about these biotechs is you never know. And we always like to be involved with good stuff because, again, we know that eventually we're bound to hit a monster like this. And again, there's really not many companies that could really compare that has all of the pieces from the technicals, from the backing, from the cap structure, and again, more importantly, which is the fundamentals. The market cap 428 million. I believe we called it out around 60 to 80 million. So tremendous growth, cash flow positive, as you could see, plenty of cash on the books. From the holder standpoint, we see all the big names, your typical suspects there, which is a great sign. They own about 30% of the company. From the financials, revenues, all-time high there, 34.9 million, 79% year-over-year growth. That was the previous quarter. And if you recall, when we started talking about this company, it was trading just sub 20 million. So again, great growth. They're now cash flow positive, no debt, which is awesome as well. So there's nothing to scrutinize from a balance sheet standpoint. Now, when we take a look at the key metrics, insiders own about 37% of the company. The earnings per share this year, 150% growth projected for next year, 231%. Very rare that you're going to see a company in this standpoint. It was a year ago, 60 to 80 million, now close to half a billion. What's it going to be by the end of this year? Is it going to be close to or north of 1 billion? I mean, this is the type of stuff that you want to look for. Real quality businesses that are going to be around the next 5 to 10 years. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is the recipe. 3, 4, 5 quarters of consistent growth, letting a company play out to its max potential. It's true market value. You are witnessing it in real time here. And again, very difficult to find companies like this, but when you do, smooth sailing, kick your feet up, relax, and enjoy the ride. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. And when we look at the analysts, that's what I love to talk about. What is Wall Street saying? What does all the institutions think? On the low end, $6.80. It lines up pretty much on my conservative target. That's 23.6% upside. The median, $8, 45% upside, and the high of $12, over 118% upside from the current price of $5.50. I think it's a no-brainer, again, from a fundamental standpoint, tight cap structure, great backing. All of the above here should really take this thing flying. But I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you're someone that's holding ChromaDex stock, where do you think it's going to go with the earnings? Do you think we're going to see a massive beat? I would love to hear your opinions again in the section below. But the last thing that I want to show you guys is the chart. One interesting thing that no one talks about, because I guarantee you most people are not following it as closely as I am, is the interesting way with the earnings. Now, the first time I talked about this back in March, it sort of chopped. It didn't really move, and a lot of people in my group are asking me what's going on. But little did they know, within 21 trading days, this thing rocketed over 200%. 200%. So sort of a slow burner, kind of got all the weak hands out of it. And then when we look back 2 earnings ago, the same thing. It sort of chopped, it traded down, and then ran almost 50% in 2 weeks. The last earnings, right? We had the monster beat, the all-time high revenues, and the same thing. It traded down 3 days and then exploded up 134% within about 3, 4 weeks. So the same thing could happen. It wouldn't even shock me again that we're seeing the same exact setup. It's sort of drawing down, giving the appearance that it's going to sell off, and then again, all the weekends get out of it, and then it has this huge rocket up over the next few weeks going into the end of Q1. So that is my take on ChromaDex. Again, like I said, a broken record. It checks off all the boxes. The technicals look great. The fundamentals are there. The backing, the cap structure, everything. You let me know your thoughts in the section below. Where do you see it trading to? My optimistic levels is if we get above 8, we have a very good chance of seeing 986, then the top, 1078, and then possibly even testing $14, 1393 to be specific. After that, 1682. But again, those are just monster beast mode targets. Let's start slow. We want 625, then the top at 8. And if we get on the north side there, I think it's going to be fireworks. So very, very exciting times. I don't want to sit here and say, oh, it's the cup and handle and all these textbook things, because a lot of times it doesn't end up playing out that way, but it looks really, really pretty. Again, for all you chart enthusiasts, I'm sure you're loving this. And the last earnings, if you remember, it traded massive volume in that month, 62 million shares on the daily, 37 million on that one day. So again, be cautious. There could be massive, massive volume here, a huge surge in price. You don't want to let this one get away from you. Make sure it's on your radar at 550. You'd be looking for any dips in this 515 range if you can get it there. But again, good luck to you. Any comments, questions, concerns, let me know in the section below. Have a fantastic day. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.